There comes a point in every man's life when he realizes that the chaos outside is a reflection of the chaos within. Seneca understood this better than anyone. His life was marked by betrayal, power, and suffering. Yet he mastered one thing most never will: himself. In this video, you'll discover 13 Stoic lessons pulled directly from Seneca's timeless wisdom that will show you how to build discipline, control your emotions, and rise above your impulses. Because the man who masters himself needs nothing else. Stoic. Tip 1. Discipline begins where comfort ends. Seneca didn't preach about discipline from an ivory tower. He lived through exile, survived political betrayal, and still found the will to go inward when the world around him collapsed. He knew something most men today have forgotten. True strength is not found in the gym. It's found in your choices. Every time you hit snooze, delay action, or escape into comfort, you are not resting. You are retreating from your own potential. Discipline is not punishment. It's an act of self-respect. A declaration that your future is worth more than your impulses. Start with something small. Wake up before the sun. Delay gratification. Train your body when it resists. Say no to distraction, even when it begs for your attention. Because every choice you make in secret is building the man you show to the world. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it never leaves a legacy. Only discipline does. Stoic tip 2. Protect your time like a warrior protects his last breath. Seneca once wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy." In a world where every second is up for sale, your ability to protect your time becomes a weapon. Look at your last 24 hours. How much of it was intentionally lived? And how much of it just happened? How much was given away to people who didn't value it, to distractions that dulled your edge, to routines that kept you comfortable but not growing? You cannot master yourself while your time belongs to everyone else. This is the silent killer of modern men. Not violence, not chaos, but distraction. Leaks in the vessel. Tiny moments lost to nothingness. To master yourself, you must become ruthless. Set boundaries. Turn off the noise. Guard your hours like they are gold. Because they are. Seneca believed that time is life. And once it's gone, no power, no wealth, no prayer can bring it back. So ask yourself, who is stealing your time? And why are you letting them? Stoic tip 3. Master your emotions or be ruled by them. Seneca lived through political exile, the collapse of power, and the shadow of death. But despite the chaos outside, what made him truly untouchable was the calm he forged within. He knew what most men still refuse to admit. You are not your emotions. You are their master or their slave. You see, anger doesn't just explode, it builds. Like pressure behind a dam, waiting for one small crack to destroy everything. Fear doesn't simply protect you, it traps you. It convinces you that playing small is wise, that retreat is intelligent, that silence is survival. And desire convinces you that you're incomplete, that you need her, need that lifestyle, need their approval, or you're nothing. But here's the hard truth. Every time you surrender to an emotion, you hand over your freedom. Not to another person, but to a shadow you've allowed to live inside your mind. Seneca didn't suppress emotion. He dissected it. He held it up to the light and asked, is this rational? Or is this weakness in disguise? That's the Stoic approach. Observe first, then choose. So the next time you feel the heat rise in your chest, the next time someone disrespects you, ignores you, embarrasses you in front of others, don't react. Pause. That moment, that small space between stimulus and response, is where your power lives. Let others be ruled by their outbursts. Let them explode, panic, spiral. You're becoming something else, something rarer. A man who owns his mind, who channels fire into focus, who turns pain into power. Because the one who masters his emotions doesn't just survive life, he shapes it. Stoic tip 4. Choose your circle like your life depends on it. Seneca didn't fear death. He feared corruption of the soul, and he knew that the people closest to you are the architects of your mind. In ancient Rome, a man could be destroyed not by enemies, but by the wrong friends whispering in his ear, eating at his judgment, weakening his convictions. He watched it happen. Brilliant men, powerful leaders, crumbling from the inside because they let the wrong voices in. You may not live in the Senate or the palace halls, but your world works the same way. Your circle is your environment. It conditions your thoughts. It sets your limits. It defines what's normal. And the worst part? It happens silently. A sarcastic joke here. A lazy mindset there. A backhanded compliment when you talk about your goals. Each one is a brick in the cage. Seneca believed that the soul takes on the color of its surroundings. So ask yourself, are the men around you disciplined or distracted? Are they visionaries or victims? Do they remind you of your potential or make you forget it? Because here's the reality most never confront. You are not stronger than your environment, not forever. Even the strongest minds can be worn down by mediocrity, by mockery disguised as friendship, by energy-draining conversations that lead nowhere and build nothing. You don't need a crowd, you need alignment. A few men with fire in their eyes are worth more than 100 who accept average. And when you find yourself surrounded by people who settle, who make excuses, who say, "Come on, relax, you're too intense," that's your cue. Not to defend yourself, not to argue, but to leave. Because if you don't elevate your circle will pull you down. And they'll do it without meaning to, and without stopping. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." This is not about judgment. It's about your future, your time, your energy, your mind. Guard them like sacred ground. Because once you let the wrong people in, they don't just occupy space, they shape your soul. Stoic tip 5, do the hard things because soft living makes you weak. Seneca didn't admire ease, he distrusted it. He saw what comfort does to men. It dulls the edge, it softens the will, it kills ambition with a gentle touch. And so, while others sought luxury, Seneca sought discomfort, deliberately, methodically, like a man sharpening his blade. He slept on the floor, not because he had to, but because he knew one day life would knock him there anyway. And when that day came, he would not flinch. He fasted, not for trend, not for aesthetics, but to remind his body that it obeys the mind, not the other way around. He faced public shame, political exile, the looming threat of death. And yet, his composure never cracked. Why? Because he had already trained in the fire. Modern men collapse under the weight of things Seneca would call trivial. A harsh comment, a failed plan, a moment of loneliness, one missed dopamine hit, and the whole day is ruined. We have become fragile in the name of self-care, but Seneca would call it what it is: decay. Make no mistake. Hard is not a curse. It's a calling. The obstacle is not your enemy. It's the grindstone for your potential. Because every act of discipline, every time you do what's uncomfortable, unpopular, or unrewarded, you are sending a message to your deepest self. I can be trusted. So when you wake up before dawn and your bed whispers, stay, get up. When the weights feel too heavy, lift anyway. When your emotions scream for escape, lean into the discomfort, hold the line, become the storm. Because softness will seduce you, but only hardship will reshape you. Seneca didn't just talk about virtue, he built it. One painful, deliberate act at a time. You want to master yourself, then suffer. On purpose. Bleed a little every day in practice, so you don't break in battle. Stoic tip 6. Protect your time like a warrior protects his last breath. Seneca didn't count hours. He measured them in meaning. Because he understood something most men avoid their entire lives. Time is not just a resource. It is your life, slipping through your hands. You can always make more money. You can rebuild status. You can recover from failure. But you will never, never get back a wasted second. And yet, what do most men guard most fiercely? Their possessions, their ego, their opinions, but not their time. Seneca called this the greatest tragedy of all. You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. You fear pain as if it's forever, and yet you waste your days as if they're infinite. Look at your own life. How many hours have you donated, without thought, without return, to scrolling gossip, shallow distractions, and empty conversations? You didn't lose those hours. You gave them away. And for what? Every yes is a no to something sacred. When you say yes to the unimportant, you are saying no to your mission, your growth, your purpose. Seneca believed you should treat your time the way a warrior treats his final breath, as something sacred, something that must never be wasted. So how do you start? Audit every hour. Cut ruthlessly. Eliminate the draining, the useless, the low value. Silence the noise. Protect the silence. Guard the space where your mind sharpens and your soul speaks. And when someone demands your time without reason, you don't owe them your hours. You owe yourself your future. This is the currency of mastery, not dollars, not likes, time. And once it's gone, no philosophy, no apology, no power on earth will bring it back. So protect it, or watch your life vanish while you weren't paying attention. Stoic tip 7. Train the body to obey the mind. Seneca believed, treat the body rigorously so it does not disobey the mind. Most men do the opposite. They obey their hunger, their laziness, their excuses. But the Stoic trains differently. He moves when it's uncomfortable. He lifts when it's painful. Not for aesthetics, but for dominance over self. Because every physical challenge is a test. Who's in charge? Your will or your weakness? Train your body to listen. So when life tests you, you don't hesitate. You act. Stoic tip 8. Make others better. Seneca believed that your character is not a private matter. It's a force, subtle but contagious. Every moment, you're influencing the people around you. With your words, your tone, your actions under pressure. The question is, are you elevating them or lowering them? The Stoic doesn't preach. He embodies. He doesn't try to change people. He changes himself so visibly that others begin to question their own standards. When you hold yourself to a higher code, others feel it. They may resist it. They may mock it, but they won't forget it. And eventually, many will follow, because deep down, people crave example more than advice. So be unshakable. Be calm under fire. Be the one who doesn't complain, doesn't gossip, doesn't waver. And you'll raise the entire room without a single word. That's power. And Seneca knew, when you make others better, you make yourself immortal. Stoic tip 9. Practice ruthless gratitude. Gratitude, to Seneca, wasn't soft. It was warrior discipline. In a world of constant desire, envy, and comparison, to be grateful is to rebel. Because when you train your mind to see what is, instead of obsessing over what isn't, you become harder to shake, harder to seduce, harder to break. The Stoic doesn't wait for perfect conditions to feel grateful. He finds it in the struggle, in the silence, in the fact that he woke up today with breath in his lungs and fire in his chest. You want more peace? Start with presence. You want more strength? Start by seeing how rich you already are. Seneca said, "He is most powerful who is most content with the least." So look around, not at what's missing, but at what's holding you up. And remember, a grateful man is unbreakable because he's already won. Stoic tip 10. Never stop learning. Seneca believed that no man is wise by accident. Wisdom is earned, day by day, choice by choice. And the moment you think you've arrived, that's when you start to decline. The Stoic sees life as a classroom. Every experience, pain, failure, conflict, is a lesson. Every person, a potential teacher, even your enemies. To stop learning is to stop sharpening the sword. And in a world that's constantly shifting, a dull mind is a dead weight. Seneca wrote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Read, reflect, ask better questions. Expose yourself to ideas that make you uncomfortable. Because the mind, like the body, only grows under tension. And the more you learn, the less life can surprise you. Stoic tip 11. Embrace vulnerability. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. Seneca lived in a world where status meant survival, but he knew, pretending to be invincible only makes you fragile. Vulnerability, real honest exposure, is not weakness. It's courage in its rawest form. The Stoic doesn't fake perfection. He confronts his flaws. He admits what he doesn't know. He speaks the truth even when his voice shakes. Because only when you face what's real can you begin to change it. Vulnerability opens the door to growth. It deepens relationships. It builds trust. It keeps the ego in check. Seneca understood. Hiding your wounds doesn't heal them. Naming them does. So stop performing. Start being. Drop the armor, not for the world's approval, but for your own liberation. Because the man who owns his truth can never be manipulated by it. Stoic tip 12. Turn adversity into fuel. Seneca's life was filled with hardship, exile, illness, betrayal, political warfare. But he didn't curse adversity, he used it. To the Stoic, every setback is a signal. Every hardship is a test. Every pain is a forge, and you're the blade inside it. The weak man avoids discomfort. He breaks when life pushes. But the Stoic, he steps into the storm because he knows adversity doesn't break you, it reveals you. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." So don't ask for ease. Ask for the strength to rise when life turns on you. Because suffering is inevitable. Growth is optional. And if you choose it, you won't just survive hardship. You'll be reborn by it. Stoic tip 13. Live in alignment with your values. Seneca believed that integrity is the root of peace. When your actions match your values, your mind becomes silent. But most men live in conflict. They say one thing and do another. They want discipline, but choose comfort. They speak of purpose, but chase distraction. That misalignment, it's why you feel restless, anxious, unfulfilled. The Stoic lives by an internal compass. He defines his values clearly, and then he obeys them. Not perfectly, but consistently. Because without alignment, there is no mastery, only noise, only guilt, only self-sabotage. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." So ask yourself, what do you claim to believe? And where are you betraying it? Correct that gap. Live in truth, because the man who aligns his life with his values becomes untouchable. Mastery isn't a destination. It's a standard you hold. Every hour, every choice, every breath. And most men, they'll never reach it. Not because they can't, but because they refuse to look inward long enough to see what's broken. Seneca's path isn't easy, but if you walk it, if you apply these lessons not just once, but daily, you won't just become better, you'll become unrecognizable. The kind of man people notice, the kind of man people can't shake. So the question is no longer, what do you know? It's, what will you do with it, starting now? If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more Stoic wisdom. See you in the next video.